G'day guys, and welcome back to the Life Outside podcast, where we share stories from outside to hopefully inspire you to get outside as well. My name is Cam Bostock. I'm joined here by Karis Bostock, my beautiful wife.
Hello everyone.
We are sitting here in Santiago de Compostela after finishing the Camino de Santiago. We've been walking for 28 days straight, and it's been an incredible journey. So we wanted to do an episode of Trail Talk on the podcast and basically just recap our journey, and pretty keen to talk to Karis a little bit about her journey. It was by far your longest ever walk.
Yep, my longest hike I've ever done.
By a long way. In fact, the longest hike you had done before this was the Kamanakoto pilgrimage in Japan, which we also did a Trail Talk episode on about 2 months ago. This was, 6 times longer?
Yeah.
So very proud of you for getting to the end.
Thank you.
We'll get into a bit about both of our experiences, I guess, on this episode. If you've listened to the Life Outside podcast for a while, you've probably heard me talk about OptiVenture. It's a company I co-founded with a simple mission: to provide comprehensive and convenient supplementation solutions for hikers and outdoor adventurers. We sold out of our version 1 all-in-one supplement within 24 hours of launch, and we're excited to finally announce that we're launching version 2, which we're calling OptiVenture Core, this August. It's been a lengthy process, but we weren't going to cut any corners, and we're so proud of what we've created. A day-night formulation with the highest quality ingredients to optimize energy, recovery, immunity, inflammation, and support your gut both on and off the trail. For more information and to stay up to date, check our website, optiventure.co, and make sure to sign up to our email newsletter. Thanks for the support, and let's get into today's episode. You guys have sent in a ton of questions about the Camino. I asked over on Instagram for that, and there was quite a few directed at Karis, because you guys love seeing her in my videos and her coming along with me on hikes, which doesn't happen too often. So we'll go through a few of those questions in this episode, but I'm also going to record a full Q&A podcast episode about the Camino de Santiago, which should be released next week, because there's literally almost 100 questions, and I'd love to go through them in a bit more detail. But this will just be a bit of a recap on our journey, and to give you guys some context of, what the Camino de Santiago even is. So I guess to start, I will run through some of the information regarding the track itself. So it's in Spain, the country of Spain, and we walked the French way, which is one of the longest routes on the Camino de Santiago. There are many routes that all lead to Santiago de Compostela. You can walk sort of through Portugal, you can walk in the far north of Spain. Really, the Camino is just walking from somewhere to Santiago. There are some really popular routes, but it really can be from anywhere. We've been hiking with a guy named Barry that we met a couple of weeks back, and he has walked all the way from Ireland, where he's from. And so he's been walking for, I think, almost 3 months now. And that's, not uncommon to just walk from some European country where you're from to Santiago. It's quite there's people hiking for different reasons. It might be spiritual, it might be, religious, a physical challenge, whatever it may be. And so people come from far and wide to do it. But we chose to walk the French way, which is approximately 800 kilometers long. We started in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port in southern France. We were only walking in France for a day before we crossed over the Pyrenees and over the border into Spain. And so most of our walk has been in Spain. And we traversed basically the entire length of Spain to reach Santiago, which is on the west coast. And actually, I'm going to be walking for a further 4 days, starting from tomorrow, to the actual coast, to this town called Finisterre. The end of the world, they call it here. And so, we will be walking pretty much from end to end of the country. Karis is actually flying home, sadly.
Tomorrow instead.
Yeah, so
no hiking.
She's got to head home for a variety of reasons, which is why it's good that we're filming and recording this podcast now to get your input before we're away from each other for a little while.
Yeah.
Because I'll be hiking in Europe for a bit after this. But 800 kilometers long, or 500 miles for those living in American land. And it's not really a wilderness hike, quite the opposite actually, walking through many, many towns each day. You can probably tell us a bit about why you would prefer to hike a trail like this compared to a wilderness hike. What do we get access to on the Camino?
So the Camino is practically glamping,
Yeah,
I would say. And the reason why this is the hike that I said yes to, is because I knew I was getting a bed at the end of every day and a shower of every day.
Yes.
And then there was added bonuses such as sometimes you got to do your laundry like every third day, and also the meals. They had these pilgrim meals where like sometimes it was a 3-course meal. And yeah, so felt very taken care of.
I think showers are the big one.
Oh yes, for sure.
I do a lot of hiking, and you almost never want to come out with me because you get really filthy, and I think you just hate going to bed filthy. That's a big thing for you.
I don't like it. I've got like really sensitive skin, so doing that, like I would just be itchy. Oh, it was horrible.
Yeah, so we had a shower every single night. We stayed at albergues, which is basically the Spanish word for hostel.
Yeah.
And they're just hostels for pilgrims. And so, yeah, it wasn't even glamping because we weren't camping. It was literally staying in a hostel every night. Easy access to food, shelter, lodging, and showers.
Yeah.
So it's a very different type of hike than I'm used to, but one that I thought Karis would enjoy a bit more.
It was perfect for me. Like, yeah, perfect.
We'll get into it a bit more later, but spoiler, Karis really loved it. I
did
which
love
is
it.
Really cool. But yeah, I guess this pilgrimage sort of originated a long, long time ago. People have been walking these routes for 1,000+ years, and there's a cathedral here in Santiago de Compostela, the Cathedral of St. James, and St. James was an apostle and, obviously a very significant religious figure in Christianity and Catholicism. This is a Catholic pilgrimage. And so people are walking to the cathedral, to Santiago, to see the cathedral.
It's said that James's body is like buried underneath.
Well, the tomb of St. James is at the cathedral,
yeah.
So it's quite a significant spiritual religious sort of place. And so people have been walking this route, like I said, for a long time. And probably these days it's a lot of pilgrims aren't doing it for spiritual reasons. We met people that weren't religious at all that just wanted to walk and see the countryside and meet people and go on that journey. And I think for us it was a range of reasons. We are Protestant Christians, so not Catholics, but it was still really interesting and sort of a spiritual journey where we learnt a lot about the history of the church and that kind of stuff, but also it's a good physical challenge for us. And honestly, it's just one of the very few long walks that we could do together.
Yeah.
And so that was a big reason for us coming out here. We hiked with a group, so we started with 3 of our friends, Dan, Emma and Deidre. Unfortunately, Deidre went home after about 10 days.
Yeah.
But we met 2 more people along the way, Barry, who I mentioned earlier, and Sarah from America. And so we arrived at Santiago de Compostela yesterday with a group of 6, and it was just amazing. But yeah, the route sort of passes through a bunch of big cities and then countless small towns and villages. And we started in Saint Jean Pied de Port and finished in Santiago de Compostela, so about 800 kilometers. Yeah, this is definitely the most popular route on the Camino as well. Out of all the different routes, I think there's like 20 sort of major ones. The French way is the way that most people go. And I'm just looking at some stats on my computer. It says 64% of all pilgrims only walk the last 100 kilometers of the French way. So most pilgrims that reach Santiago de Compostela only walk the last 100 kilometers from a town called Sarria. And so we noticed that a few days ago when passing through Sarria.
There was lots of people.
It got busy.
Yeah, way more really people.
Busy. It's kind of notorious for that. In fact, we really kind of rushed through that last 100 kilometers.
Yeah, we smashed it, guys. Yeah. The last 100 kilometers only took us like 2-3 days.
Yeah, well, we walked a 50-kilometer day, which is, well, I say it's your longest hiking day ever, but I think there was probably about 10 days that became your longest hiking day ever throughout
the trip, yeah.
But we kind of rushed through that last 100K because there's so many people around, and it's a bit overwhelming. I mean, the whole trail was fairly busy. We see people all the time and stay with people all the time in albergues, but it definitely ramped up a bit towards the end.
Yeah, but it wasn't as busy as I thought, because when we were like first like planning or like going to do it, they said there was going to be like this certain amount of people. Was like, how many do you remember?
Well, there's hundreds of thousands that do it every year, so I think in our heads we were like we're going to be shoulder to shoulder. But really, you have a lot of opportunity to walk alone.
Yeah, there's heaps. Like I was expecting like there would be people in front of me, like kind of like walking and behind me, but pretty much until the main 100 kilometers, there was like barely any people that you would see sometimes for the whole day, or only one or two and stuff. So like, it wasn't as crazy. It was just in the albergues, then you could see all the people. So
Yeah, when it was definitely busier than a typical, wilderness hike, but not as bad as we thought. We're both pretty introverted, so I think we're a little nervous about the volume of people, but it was really cool to just connect with all these strangers from all over the world. And, we cross paths with the same people, quite often if we're walking a similar pace. And it was really a highlight of the adventure for me anyway, just meeting all these people.
Yeah, you love talking with people.
Yeah.
Cam's way more extroverted than me, or likes talking to people more than me. But I did talk to some people, but I'm just not as good as he is.
Well, it was good because we had a little group, so we always had sort of our people when we didn't feel like talking to others.
Yeah.
But the French Way on the Camino is it's a UNESCO heritage listed pilgrimage, which is one of only 2 UNESCO listed pilgrimages in the world. For those who have been following along, we walked the other one, the Camino in Japan, which is, the sister pilgrimage to this one, a couple of months ago. So we're officially dual pilgrims, which is sort of a certification that you can get, which is kind of exciting. I don't think many people can say that, and that's one of the things this year in 2025. I was like, I think I want to become a dual pilgrim this year. I'd sort of seen a few of my friends do it, and it sounded really cool. So I'm very, very happy that we got to do it together.
Yeah.
That's pretty
yeah,
magical.
that's nice. That's very nice.
Yeah, so, geez, I'm not going to go into, intense detail of every day on trail because we've been out here for 28 days and we could be talking for hours. But maybe we'll give a little recap of the journey, not super detailed.
Well, the first day, I'll just give the main kind of things that happened that were I don't know, big events.
We could talk about day one for sure.
Yeah, day one, I barely made it to the end, and Cam didn't think I was going to make it.
It was tough. It was a really tough first day. I think we should get a bit of context. Karis, like we said, has never done a long walk longer than 5 days, and before that 5-day walk on the Kawana never longer than 2 days. And so you'd done a bit of training. But
I had done some training. So I had been doing 10K steps for the last
10K steps per day.
Yeah, per day, 4 days a week or something like that for work and stuff. And then I did this program that Cam's...
Yeah, through OptiVenture we did a hiking strength program, which you did a bit of.
So I pretty much nearly completed that before I had to leave, so the flight. And so I thought I was going to be okay. First day humbled me.
First day humbled you a bit, but to be fair, the first day, looking back on the last month, the first day was the hardest.
Yeah, it was
maybe
crazy.
Besides the 50-kilometer day, the first day was brutal. I think a lot of people split that section into 2, where we walked it was just under 30 kilometers over the Pyrenees mountain range into Spain. So we stayed in a town called Roncesvalles on the first night. And we essentially just climbed up into the Pyrenees from almost sea level and then down to Roncesvalles.
It was so tall.
It was 1,000 or 2,000 meters of vertical gain. And then the weather was kind of crappy that day as well.
Oh, I think it was better that it was like that.
Well, in hindsight.
Yes.
Yeah, to skip ahead of it, we had some hot
days.
Hot days. Like heat waves, week-long heat waves. So looking back, those cold, cloudy days that we had at the start were amazing.
Yeah, they were needed.
But at the time, it was kind of hard. And saying that, super beautiful. The Pyrenees was green and lush, and we got a bit of a taste of sort of the ancient buildings and churches that we'd be seeing over the next month on that first day. It was really, really cool.
Mind you guys, that day I didn't care. I just wanted to go to bed.
I remember you were pretty cooked.
Everyone wanted to go out and see the church and stuff, and I was like, where's dinner? Where's my bed? I'm going.
Yeah, we definitely threw into the bit deep end because the 4 of us in our group, besides you, we all walked the Pacific Crest Trail last year. We're all seasoned hikers. You're a big noob.
I was this noob, and it's more annoying because you're like, wow, they're all ahead. They're all at the place, and I'm not there yet. What's wrong with me? But it's just because I'm a noob.
It's just new. I'd been telling you for a while that you build into a hike like this. After a couple of weeks, you start building fitness. As long as you don't get some sort of catastrophic injury. Yeah. You'll feel better towards the end, which you did. Yeah. I mean, you walked 53 kilometres a couple of days ago.
And guys, I just want to mention that if I can do it, so can you. That's like the
That's
biggest
so
thing.
true.
Yeah, if I can do it, so can you. Now, the next couple of days were just normal, lovely, I guess. After that day, obviously, it was not as mountainous.
Well, we descended out of the Pyrenees,
Yeah,
and there
so
was a couple of relaxed days. I think we intentionally planned our first week to follow the official stages.
yes,
I think
yeah.
there's 33 official stages on
Yeah,
the
there
French
is.
way.
Yeah.
And so we ended up walking the trail. Like, you're supposed to do a stage per day, or like it's recommended to do that. By the end of the trail, we had done 28 days, 33
Out of the three,
stages. So we
yeah.
ended up skipping, a few days, or overall going a bit faster. But the first week we sort of stuck to it, which meant
Yeah.
some 20-kilometer days.
It's just to help
shorter
me
days.
get my
Get your trail legs.
yeah, get trail
But it
legs.
wasn't
Yeah.
just you, like all of us.
Yeah, yeah, that's
We
true.
all hadn't, we weren't in peak shape at that moment. So we all wanted to get our legs a bit, and it was really a good idea. But just a beautiful first few days, first
Yeah.
week on trail. I mean,
Lovely.
that first week was almost my favorite. It was so
Oh, really?
the churches were amazing, the towns. I can't remember the names of the towns off the top of my head, but Zubiri was
Oh,
beautiful.
yes.
With the river
Yeah.
coming through town, I had a swim there. Some
Oh,
of the churches that we
yes.
saw and the castles.
That's where Our Lady washed all our clothes for us.
Yeah, that was Zubiri
Yes,
as well.
yeah, it's
The
beautiful.
albergue experiences were amazing.
Yeah, they were.
And then Pamplona was sort of the first major town we crossed through.
Yeah, yeah.
Just stunning. The church there, just incredible.
Yeah, that was so nice.
It was probably about day 4 or 5 that the heat started kicking in.
Oh,
really
yeah.
bad though.
Really bad. And I was realizing very quickly that I needed to get up at least at 5 and leave by 5:30. So me and Deidre were leaving super early before anyone and like getting in at like 1 p.m. just before the heat. And anytime I wouldn't do it, I would suffer, guys. I was
You
dying.
guys quickly had a routine of getting up very early.
Yeah.
And it just made sense. I mean, most of us would get up early every day when it was that hot. Like, we're talking 35, 36 degrees Celsius between the hours of 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., which is just, it's way too hot for walking. And a lot of the Camino doesn't have shade.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately not super naturey. You're not around trees and mountains. It's just sort of mostly flat. There's hills and stuff, but you're not here for the nature. And that means a lot less shade to protect you from those really hot days. I think the average temperature in June, which is when we started, is, mid to high 20s this time of year. And we had mid to high 30s for most of the first 3 weeks on trail.
Yeah, I talked to some Spanish people who've done the trail like the last 6 years every year, and they said this is the hottest year they've ever done it in. They said it's crazy. They've never been this hot before. Wasn't
I heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I think we got pretty unlucky with that. But it was, it was a good challenge.
Yeah, no, it was nice. It was nice.
We managed.
Yeah.
This is the trail to have a heat wave on, because you can go to a cafe every 5 kilometers. Like, you're
Have a
walking through
smoothie.
towns all day. Every day there'd be at least 3 or 4 towns. And so you get your smoothie, you get your iced Coke, or your cold beer if you're that way inclined, and it sort of took the edge off a little bit.
Yeah.
And you got shade at the cafe and that kind of thing. So it's not like you're in the middle of nowhere, super hot, and there's no water around. It's like you've got access to all the things you need. So, despite the heat, we managed, and it was amazing. The first big city we reached was Burgos. So a couple 100,000 people living there, so a pretty big population centre. And the cathedral at Burgos was incredible, absolutely incredible. So Burgos was incredible. We actually took our first day off in Burgos, which was, I think, day 10 or 11. And that was really nice.
Yeah.
We weren't planning to take too many days off, but whenever we reached a big city, and you had all the amenities and you had lots to explore, it was nice to do that.
You wanted to do it, man.
Yeah.
That was about the time I said, wow, my feet are feeling good. I'm feeling good. This is great. And then, guys, it was downhill from there.
Yeah, I think he's into it really well.
Yeah.
And then I think, after Burgos, between Burgos and Lyon, which are two of the biggest cities.
Oh, yeah.
It's a section called the Meseta.
Yeah.
which is like the middle third of the French way. Notorious for being particularly barren, monotonous, long, flat, and we had the worst of the heat wave during that. And so I think all those things combined, Karis ended up getting some pretty bad blisters, which wasn't super fun.
I loved the Meseta. I know lots of people would.
Even though you were in pain the whole time?
Yeah, I was in pain, guys. Yeah, there was a hostel that we were about to get to in the town before. I was crying because my blisters were so painful, and I was just so upset that I felt like I wasn't going to be able to complete the trail, and that was like heartbreaking to me. But after that, I was okay. I was still in pain for like the next 2 days, but
We had about a week period of really bad blisters.
Yeah. But
it wasn't till the end of the Meseta that we kind of got under control.
Yeah.
The Meseta, that middle sort of 10 days, or 8 days of the Meseta, I didn't enjoy particularly, I'm not going to lie. There were definitely some highlights, you know, met some cool people, had some good conversations.
Yeah.
A few cool churches and castles and stuff. We did a couple of little side missions off the trail to see some castles. And
I didn't go that. I didn't go there.
Yeah, Karis typically kept to the route. But I didn't love it. I don't know. Some people find it real peaceful and sort of a good place to think and reflect. But for me, it was just hot and boring. I've been too spoiled with just the most incredible views on some of the trails I've done that, I don't know, I don't feel like I need to reflect on too much. I've had plenty of time to do that. I don't know. There's probably always something to reflect on, but the Meseta for me didn't quite hit, I wouldn't say. But, I mean, you're saying it's your favourite part.
I loved it. I thought it was lovely just because it was flat. Like, I didn't have to think about it.
No hills.
Yeah, no hills.
Easy walking,
Yeah, like, I loved it. But my favourite part was the last probably maybe 150 kilometres before the end. That was beautiful.
Yeah, we'll get there. It was an incredible finish, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know what was my favourite. I think the first week was probably my favourite part.
Oh, really?
But,
okay.
It was all amazing. Incredible experience. But we did eventually finish the Meseta, made it to Lyon, which is another really big city. And that's where we bought you some hiking sandals.
Yes.
And some toe socks, which I think was the big reason that your blisters sort of started to clear up. Because, man, you had blisters on your toes, the soles of your feet, the sides of your heels.
Yeah, it was insane.
It wasn't pretty, and you were popping them every night and draining them and cleaning them. But I think the shoes change.
Yeah, the shoes just kept on making them come back. So when we changed to these sandals, which I didn't even know people hiked in, it was like the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I got little toe socks.
Yeah, so you're wearing Hoka Speed Goats, and then we got you into some Hoka sandals, which honestly I didn't know existed, but I saw them and I was like, that feels like that's going to help. And so
it did.
Lyon was like a turning point for everyone. It was the end of the Meseta. It was where your blisters sort of healed up. We took a day off in Lyon also.
Yeah. And convinced everyone. well, actually, Sarah technically convinced everyone.
Yeah, well, Lyon is, I think, where we sort of officially started hiking as a group of 6.
Yeah.
We'd been hanging out with Barry a little bit before then. We had just met Sarah. And then, we met up for brunch in Lyon on the morning that we were planning to walk out.
Yeah.
And Sarah was like, I think I'm going to take a day off today. And she said she's definitely going to take a day off today. And we were umming and ahhing, and I think she convinced us. And then Barry joined us for breakfast like half an hour later.
And he was about to leaving.
He was literally packed up, ready to go, and we all told him that we were staying, and we decided to stay also. So that's when I just watched a reel from Dan today. Yeah. Because we're still posting the reels a bit delayed as we record this, and Dan dubbed us the Santiago 6. So that was Lyon, where the Santiago 6 began, which was really cool. It was funny, in my head, Lyon was like the end of the Meseta, the end of the flat, boring walking. And then there was a full day after Lyon where it was the same. You remember that day?
I can't remember.
We did like 38k after Lyon.
Did we?
After that day off.
Oh my gosh.
And it was the same. Like we walked, I posted that vlog today.
Oh, did you?
You know, it was so hot. It was flat and boring. We took the sort of the less monotonous route that people were saying, which was just boring anyway. And there was that one where the train like went past us, and it was just a crappy day. And I was like, are you kidding me? I thought it was supposed to get better from here. Yeah. But I will say that after that day, it did get better because we kind of crossed over this mountain range. So a lot of climbing again, which made things hard, but just so beautiful. Started getting green.
Yeah.
Started seeing more rivers and streams.
That was so nice.
And yeah, Leon was like day 22, 20, 21, something like that. The last, 8 to 10 days were incredible.
Yeah.
Just green, lush.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Hills. We went through a few little sort of naturey areas.
Yeah. Hills were a bit hard, but they were worth it. The views were incredible.
Some great views from the tops. And there was a lot of villages at the tops of the mountains. So like I remember one morning we got up real early before the sun came up and we climbed to the top of this hill, and there was this cafe open at 6:30 and the sun was rising behind the mountain range.
And we all had our little coffees and hot chockies.
Yeah, coffees and croissants, and there was like these big mountain dogs playing around us, and kittens. And
yeah.
I think a big highlight for you of this trail was the cats.
Oh, yes,
cats
guys.
everywhere.
It was amazing, except some of them obviously don't have a home, so that's sad, but you can give them a little bit of love, and some of them want cuddles and stuff.
Karis is a big cat person. For those who don't know, she went to the extent of buying cat food and cat biscuits at one of the supermarkets, so anytime she found a stray she could cuddle and feed it and make it her best friend.
Yeah, I made a lot of best friends of cats.
There was a lot of cats, a lot of dogs, a lot of farm animals. Unfortunately, there's no wildlife. I mean, we saw a couple of wild pigs.
I forgot to tell you, I saw a hedgehog.
What?
Yeah, I saw a hedgehog.
When was that?
I tried to feed a cat biscuits.
Okay, that's not. You don't feed wildlife, Karen.
It ran away.
We'll cut this out now. A hedgehog. Wow. So Dan and Emma saw some deer. Oh, we saw a fox. Remember?
Oh yes, and it had a rabbit in its mouth.
That's right. And then we saw those wild boars with their
yes, the family
piglets. Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically, we saw a
couple
different animals, but mostly.
And the red squirrels.
Oh yeah, the squirrels.
Oh, they were so gorgeous.
They were cute. So there's some animals, but you're not walking through wilderness, so it's not like just seeing animals in the wild. It's like you're seeing a wild animal running across the farm.
Yeah.
Because like essentially the whole trail, you're either walking through a town or you're walking next to a farm.
Yeah.
And so you're always in some sort of civilization. But hey, seeing horses and cows and sheep and cats and dogs is kind of cool as well. You learn to love it.
Yeah, and, I was happy.
It was a cool part of the trail for sure. But that last week was amazing. Yeah, some beautiful towns, some beautiful albergues. I mean, what was your favourite albergue stay? I'm just thinking back. We had some incredible stays just hosted by the most
loveliest people. Yeah.
There's a lot of municipal albergues. So every town will sort of have a government-funded albergue that's generally pretty cheap, but not always the nicest. Definitely not homely, because they're kind of just government run, and it's just like you just go there, you do your thing and you leave. But there was a few burgers that we stayed at that were just family run and really small and really cool. Do you have a favorite?
My favorite is probably not a family one, but I just love the setup, and it was also where my favorite meal was. But there was an albergue that we went to that a restaurant kind of owned, and they had like a pool, and spa.
Yeah,
that
was on the Meseta, and that was literally an oasis on the Meseta.
Yeah, it was incredible. And I just loved it because, I don't know, we were just like in the pool, all mucking around.
Yeah, they had a sauna, an ice shower, a huge pool, and the bedroom, the dorm room was incredible. Yeah. And like you said, the food was amazing.
Oh, yeah, I had the best paella. Oh, it was so nice. So the best food I had in Spain was that night.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the town that was in, but it was somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I think my favourite albergue was one just a couple of nights ago at the end of the 50-kilometre day.
Yeah.
That was amazing. Like, we'd obviously been going all day long, and Sarah had very graciously booked an albergue for us all, pariah, so we didn't have to worry about finding one. Because I should say, like, almost every night we didn't book anything. We just showed up to a town. We had a list of our burgers that were there, and we just kind of rocked up and said, do you have space? And they always did. That was something I was a little bit worried about before coming out here, that you'd have to book ahead or miss out kind of thing. But
we only had to book once or twice.
There was always space until sort of the end. We booked a couple of times. But yeah, we booked this one, and would have been day 27. and it was called Heidi's Place.
Oh,
If you're on the Camino de Santiago, look up Heidi's Place because it was a really amazing experience. This lady Heidi and her husband had set this burger up. She has an incredible story which I won't get into, but she just felt called to buy this plot of land on the Camino after walking it herself, and it took her 7 years or something to get to buy it, to convince the owners to sell it to her, and then she bought it and they renovated it. That's and amazing. Set it up for pilgrims, and they can only host, I think they can host 10 people.
Yeah, or they can, I think they'd do more. They had 2 spots.
No, it was 10 total, I think.
Really?
10 beds, and so it's really small.
So beautiful.
And we managed to get 6 spots, and great to get there after, 13 hours of walking.
Dinner was just
home-cooked
incredible.
Meal. Yeah. They did our laundry for free. All these really nice things that, she was a pilgrim, so she knew what we wanted. So Heidi's Place, that was probably my favourite. But yeah, I guess that last week was great. Yeah. We got into Santiago de Compostela yesterday.
Yeah.
After 28 days, and overall was just an incredible experience.
It was a lovely experience. I enjoyed every bit, even the hard bits and the sad bits.
It blows my mind hearing you say that, because I never thought you would walk a long trail with me. I know it's not really a trail that we walked, but it's a long way that we walked. We walked across a country.
Yeah.
A big one at that. And we've clocked over 800 kilometres of walking. And so the fact that you enjoyed it, even the hard parts.
Yeah.
So do you think if you didn't have a shower every night, you would have enjoyed it still?
Oh, absolutely not. Like when I came home, like when we would hike for like 35 Ks or whatever, the only thing that was getting me through that day was I just have a shower, there's dinner prepared, and I can sleep. Like that was the only thing keeping me going.
The first thing you'd do when you got in was shower before anyone else. So, yeah, I think we picked the right hike for you, for sure.
I definitely, now that I've done this Camino, I want to try all the other different ways now, like from Portugal or I would love to try all of them.
Yeah, so we might come back and walk another Camino at some point, which would be really cool. But yeah, great time. So I've got a few days left on trail to walk to Finisterre and Murcia, and this is the end for you. We'll probably finish by answering a few questions from the listeners. I've got a couple saved here. You guys are always asking me about Karis, if she's okay. The amount of comments about your blisters on my video. She needs to do this. You need to look after her. Make sure she enjoys it.
If you guys are watching the reels, you look at me, and during the meseta, I was hobbling.
She was limping a little bit.
I was limping.
Someone asked, can we hear more from Karis?
Oh,
well, here you go. Here's a podcast episode with the woman herself. Someone asked, how's it been travelling with your wife? So that's probably for me, about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been, I think I've said it a few times, it's been incredible to be able to walk with you. I mean, we've travelled a bunch together, but we've never, hiking is, people know me, hiking is my thing. And so I've had to be away from you a lot to do some of the big hikes that I want to do. So be able to walk together for a month is the best thing in the world. And, we did the 5-day hike last month, or whenever it was. In Japan, and that was amazing, and hopefully you've caught the bug a little bit.
I want to add to that, Cam literally treated me so well on the hike. I think that's why I loved it even more than I don't know, just loved it way more, because he was helping me get my bed ready. He was grabbing the cords out of the bag. He was checking on my legs. Does this hurt? Does this hurt? Whatever. He just was taking very good care of me on the trail. You need to stretch. You need to do this. And
Yes, I had to keep you in good shape to get you to the end. Because, that was very important to me. But we got you here.
Yeah, it got me here.
You had a few little niggles pop up. And you were able to do some stretching and rehab to get through them. You had the blisters pop up. You managed to get through that. Yeah. I'm very proud of your mental fortitude.
Oh, thank you.
Because there was moments where you could have quit. And to be honest, there was moments where I thought it's probably best that you quit because you're in so much pain. But you bloody push through.
I try.
That is what I usually do, is just push through, even when sometimes it's not advisable. So very cool to see you do that. And so happy You made it to the end.
Yay.
With all these other seasoned through hikers, you can call yourself a bloody through hiker now.
I'm a through hiker, guys.
She's done it.
The hiking god said it himself.
Yeah. Someone asked, is Karis getting the through hiking bug?
I would say yes, as long as there's a shower and a bed at the end of the night.
So do you think you'd dip your toes in a hike that didn't have as many amenities as this?
Oh, I would have to learn to hike 100 Ks per day so that I
Get to
could...
the next town.
Yeah.
So there's this trail that some of you guys will know about called the Bibbulmun Track, where we're from in Western Australia. And that's something that I really want to walk with Karis now. It's a similar length to the French way on the Camino, but you don't get an albergue every night. I will say, though, you do get a shelter every night. Bibbulmun Track campsites are amazing. So you have a roof over your head, you have water, you have a toilet. And so it's not like the Pacific Crest Trail where you're pooping in a hole and sleeping in the dirt. You've got sort of place to sleep and get fresh water.
Yeah.
You just won't have the shower. But I feel like, you know, with a bit of water, you can wet your towel and you can clean yourself and clean your feet and jump into bed. I think we'll get you there.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a little section or something. But that's my next goal, is to bring you into a wilderness through hike. And the Bibbulmun Track is, I always tell people, it's the perfect beginner through hike. Globally, I think it's the perfect beginner through hike because it's so accessible and so forgiving. You know, there's shelters every 20k and there's water and toilets and towns, and so it's really perfect for you. It's the logical next step.
Oh, is that so?
That's literally the start of the trail is a half an hour drive from our house. So we'll see what happens. The Australian through hiking season is beginning in about a month or two. So, you know,
Could make the decision.
It just lines up. You're super fit right now.
Oh my gosh, guys, I'm scared I'm going to lose my fitness. Like, I literally am like, I'm going to walk, I'm going to get home, I'm going to walk 10 Ks every day. Like, I do not want to lose it.
For those who haven't through hiked before, it's magical how fit you get by walking for a month straight, all day, every day. Your body just adapts. And it's one of my favorite feelings in the world. 3 weeks into a through hike, realizing, holy crap, it's easy to walk a marathon with 20 kilograms on my back or 10 kilograms on my back. It's easy. Like, it wasn't easy 3 weeks ago. The body just adapts. And I think a big part of how well we got through the Camino was taking OptiVenture every day.
Oh. Not sponsored or anything.
just had to plug. For those who have listened this far, OptiVenture version 2 is dropping in August, which is like a month away, or less than a month by the time you guys are listening to it. So check out optiventure.co. Check out optiventure.co at optiventure.co on Instagram as well. Sign up to our email newsletter. Our all-in-one supplement is literally built for the Camino. I mean, we weren't eating particularly well throughout this trek.
I tried.
We tried, but it's a lot of bread, a lot of salami, a lot of cheese, a lot of Coke. And so having something to sort of supplement our nutrition, I think made a big difference.
It definitely made a difference.
I mean, you often say how different you feel when you take it compared to when you don't. And so...
Yeah, well, I just noticed, like, whenever I had any, like, major issues with my legs or anything the day before, like, if I took it that night, I was fine. I never had a problem. Like, it wouldn't...
Jeez.
It was very good.
That's big praise.
Yeah.
Big praise coming from a fresh through hiker, walking across the bloody country. Obviously, OptiVenture is my company, so got to put a cheeky plug in there, but I appreciate all the support. Cool. I think we'll wrap it up there. Thanks so much for listening, guys. If you have any questions for Karis or I about the Camino de Santiago or about anything, feel free to DM us on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'll leave Karis's links below as well. You can also DM the Life Outside Pod on Instagram as well anytime if you have questions. Like I said, I had a lot of questions come through regarding the Camino specifically, not specifically for Karis, but just around the trail. And so I'm going to try and do a full Q&A episode and answer as many of those as possible in the coming weeks. And so stay tuned for that. And I really appreciate the support. If you guys have got this far, please like and follow the podcast and rate the podcast 5 stars. It really helps us to reach a sort of new audience. Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that tend to push out podcasts that get ratings and comments and all the engagement things. So feel free to do that if you enjoyed the show. If you didn't enjoy it, don't rate us 0 stars. Just don't rate us at all. I like keeping those stars high. But I really appreciate you guys listening, and I hope you enjoyed this one. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye, guys.